Richard Holmes at 3D Fit Life, coming at you with a bit more insight into what 3D is all about, specifically the ethics today. I'm going to be focusing on what 3D actually means, and in no particular order. The components we talk about when we refer to 3D are the body, whatever shape and size your child might be. We also have the mind, and that is the knowledge with which to actually make best use of their body when it comes to performing physical tasks. For instance, doing a press-up. Do they have the actual necessarily correct form to be able to perform that press-up correctly, to perform that task in the right way? And finally, you have the fun. All 3D sessions have a huge or large element of fun about them. It's in the air. And what we find is that when it comes to these three components, we want them synergized in this way, overlapping, as it were. Because in that respect, when you have them overlapping in this way, you tend to find a child that is balanced, that is centered in themselves as well as physically, and comfortable with what they've been asked to do. So consequently, you tend to get a better performance out of a child who is synergized. And I say this in the sense of, for instance, from a physical perspective, if a child's out of shape, or for instance they are lacking certain athleticism and certain coordination skills, then you'll find that the body does get away from the mind and the fun aspect of it all. And that's something that we work to actually correct, to bring the body back in line with the mind and the fun. And we use the mind and the fun to make that happen. Yeah. On the other hand, you might find that the child lacks the capacity to be able to perform tasks. They might not be able to understand what it is they've been asked. For instance, in a press-up, in terms of getting in the right position, they might be struggling to get the right movement pattern, as it were. Maybe they end up shrugging their shoulders because they don't quite understand how to actually use their arms and shoulders and back to get that right pushing action. And again, we'll use the body and or more fun and help them in so much as breaking down an actual press up into smaller bite-sized chunks and giving them progressions to be able to build it up into the correct form and bring them back to this synergized state. And finally, the fun. You know, when there is no fun, kids struggle to actually stay focused on the job. We know this, and on that basis we try and energize tasks. We try and make them contextual. So for instance, a bear crawl to a 6 or 7 year old isn't necessarily a bear crawl. We might say be a bear, rather than tell them how to actually move their arms and legs. Just get down on your feet and your hands and move like a bear. Simplifies the process, makes it easier for them to understand, and it's something that they can connect with. A bear, I know what a bear is. So we try and take the science and meld it with the art as well, so that it isn't just all about what they must do for us, that they're getting something from it as well. Bring the fun, and it makes it easier for them to understand what you're asking and therefore to perform it with their bodies. So we're trying to make this particular scenario exist in all children. Now the reality is that any given child can find these three components in different places. There might be in this scenario, which is ideal, but we could find a child where they're not able to have fun, they get uptight or they feel shy. So we have to work at ways and means of actually bringing them in through fun. Equally, it might be that they have certain learning difficulties when it comes to the mind, and talking about specific special needs like ADH, etc. We're very keen to synchronise with their learning patterns, what's going to work best for them in the environment without being to the detriment of the rest of the group, as it were. And as far as the physical side of it, well, you know, ultimately we want fit children who are active and enjoy moving around and having fun. Movement being the key word. So we find that by giving children a myriad of different movement patterns, but specific patterns which are part of a program which we are focused on and delivering to that child, that they ultimately end up in a situation which is more desirable like this. That's it for today from 3D. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and I'll see you again soon.